Leos, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for April 18th to the 24th of 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link because the signs are different. All right, Leo, so we have a lot going on this week involving your ruler changing sign going into Aries, where the sun is exalted. We've got a full moon Thursday night, Friday morning, and a lot of aspects with Venus. So let's go ahead and have a look at it. First thing I want to look at is coming off of the previous weekend where we had Mars retrograde, go retrograde. And then now this early part of the week, very early in fact, Monday morning, Pluto's going to go retrograde. So there's a lot of this reflective energy, and a lot of it's involving your fourth house of home, family, and health. This is where you've had Mars recently, so there's been a lot of this energy, a lot of this momentum lately to either cultivate, to set intentions with this area of life, which has been good. But now it's a time to go back, rehash, rethink some things, redo some things all the way through June involving this area for you. Basically anything that is your roots in life. Now, Pluto is, of course, also associated with that fourth house since it's modernly rules it for you. So that's adding to the reflective nature to that fourth house. Now, in terms of what this is all about, is it's really about you fostering and advancing your home and family life and your health even, right? But every once in a while, we do need that reflective time to go in, rehash, redo, rethink, reprocess. And once that Mars goes direct, going into like mid to late summertime, there'll be more of that momentum and energy. And a lot of the stuff you learn at this time regarding these roots will be very applicable at that time. Now, in terms of Pluto, Pluto's retrograde in your fifth house, so it has been this ongoing theme of you transforming your self-expression. And for 6 months out of the year, Pluto goes retrograde, so now it's a bit of reflection of that self-expression, all right, for the next 6 months. And it's also, you can have more freedom here, all right, a greater sense of self-expression, more power come through here, but not of the egoic type. In fact, that's what Pluto's doing, is helping you strip away any attachments you might have to your self-expression that might be preventing you from allowing that true light to shine for you to express yourself in essence, in your pure essence. So a good time to go within, see if there's any psychological patterns that might be preventing you from expressing your true self. Now, in terms of the aspects, Venus is going to be trining up to that Saturn on a Monday. So this is going to be specifically developing your productive life, your career, or your work on one level, since Venus rules your 10th house, which is good. Good things to do there on Monday. And then the other one is to develop your intimacy, all right? And that's been Venus in your 8th. So right now it's all about you learning more about that and how to develop more of that in your life, how to build things and do things in your life because it's meaningful, how to open up, to be vulnerable, all that stuff. That was the big emphasis the last 30 days with the sun in there, but with Venus is still here. So you can, for you personally, because Venus rules your 3rd house and then also your 10th house, you can learn a lot about things like intimacy, opening up. You can actually build that in your work, perhaps in some way. So it's more in alignment with what you're truly about. And this is going to be an area of transformation and change this week, specifically around Tuesday, which is going to be Venus squaring up to Pluto. So again, with that Pluto energy, it's all about change. It's all about non-attachment, right? Stepping back, and then from a state of non-attachment, taking action. So here specifically with, again, your career, might be some changes there this week. It'd be important for you to kind of step back, make any changes that might need to be made that may not be easy with your career or your productive life, even with your communications as well. Okay, it's going to be a big area of change for you there. And again, it's all about that intimacy and that openness, vulnerability of that 8th house, and just learning more about that and developing it. Now, as we go into midweek, we'll start to feel more of the sun shifting. So you guys, like I said, have been more in the realm of the deeper stuff, but there's definitely this shift where it's now going into more of the expansive stuff. In fact, many of you will probably feel quite transformed this week, I would imagine, with the sun going into the 9th. So this is now more of a focus on your worldview, on expanding your horizons, on seeing what's possible and enjoying all that. A lot of you might be enjoying things like nature or travel, philosophy, spirituality, astrology, which has already been on your mind, and perhaps that has been a part of your daily sphere with Mercury already in that ninth house. But now with the sun here, it's a big focus for you. And I think it's good to see that, see where you can enjoy a bit of that freedom in your life. Now going into Thursday, Mercury is going to be trining up to the North Node. So on a minor note, there's a lot to be learned about your ideals, about your hopes and wishes this week, about your values in life, maybe about the material financial stuff, and again, how you can free up and really enjoy these more expansive areas of life. Now the full moon is going to be on Thursday night, Friday morning, and this is going to be another full moon in Virgo, your second house. So now continuing to cultivate, as it has been, continuing to cultivate your values. Might be the financial material stuff for some of you on that level, but in essence, it's really about cultivating your sense of self-reliance. And so now there's a lot to be learned about this. There's a lot to be gained and understood during another full moon here of the second house, so you can continue to enjoy and foster the material pleasures of life, the material security. And it's really this sort of status checkpoint, this halfway point, where now you can see more about it, learn more about it, just become more aware of it, and then now for the next 6 months continue to cultivate it, perhaps in a new direction, because there's some things that I'm sure are working about it, some things that aren't, which is often the case during a full moon. But it's a status check, which then allows you to continue to cultivate these values, these material resources, and your self-reliance. Now Venus is conjoining up to Uranus to top off the week going into the weekend. So specifically around Friday, there's a bit of this freedom. And again, this is freedom with maybe your work, your career, something new, depending on your personal chart, freeing up your mind, your communications, mixing things up, trying something new in that department. And again, this is all for you to learn more about and develop that intimacy, right? So the things that really matter to you in life. That's what Uranus in the 8th house has been showing you, is how to have more freedom with what really matters to your life, to really access that openness, that vulnerability with self, which does lead to that spiritual freedom. All right, Leo, so have a fantastic week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next week.